Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Prediction Boxing. I mean, it's a video about the fight between Jake Paul and AJ that finished just earlier, and I just want to talk to you about my thoughts on the fight. Yeah, kudos to Jake Paul for actually fighting a real boxer, going out there and fighting a real boxer. But now I'm speaking to people like myself, and all the other delusional people that thought that Jake Paul was going to win and put money on him. That Jake Paul marketed himself in a way that made people like myself think that he had a good chance of winning that fight. And honestly, from the snippets I've seen of his fight, of him running around and getting tired, he marketed himself in a way that he was going to win that fight. He was going to cause an upset, making people believe that he's, luring them into putting money onto him, and then going there like he's had a Burger King. He didn't do any conditioning training or had any stamina, and I don't know what kind of training group he has around him. I don't know what they've been training him to do, and I've seen them, and I don't think they're respectable in any way by looking at them. They didn't train him correctly, and you know what? Even if they did try to train him, I don't. Look, if you're gonna fight someone like AJ, you got to be jogging at least 10 miles a day, and you should be doing at least over 100 burpees a day. Okay, obviously he's a higher weight class, so that might be reduced burpees and the jogging time. But you need stamina and you need conditioning. He was just running away, and his punches were ineffective. From what I saw the snippets, yeah. Is Jake Paul a fighter? Yeah, I consider him a fighter. I really do. I think he can fight. I think he's got a good punch. But do I consider him a respected boxer? No, I don't. I don't consider him to be a boxer that you can say, okay, this guy's gonna be a world champion one day or whatever. I mean, it's delusional, and his delusion has made other delusional people like myself put money on him and lose money on him. I really did believe, from how he was carrying himself, that he was going to win the fight. I really believed that he was younger, and he was gonna be too quick, too agile. But I didn't realize he was gonna run around and do nothing. And you know, he should have the mentality of attacking and clinching. That's how it is. Not running around. Your avoidance is by clinching. That's your avoidance. You don't have to run around. Okay, so wait for it. Obviously, AJ to throw a punch, avoid it, counter it, and then clinch, or move out of the way. But he didn't have. He's not trained to do that kind of. It doesn't seem to me that he did any training in any way to survive that fight. He was just in the gym, I guess, lifting weights, punching the pads, sparring a little bit, but that's got nothing. you've got to put yourself in like proper intense training, like burpees, polymetric training, those kind of things, and have like endless like loads of rounds sparring, not just like, I don't know, you need at least 50 rounds for his. He would, to win that fight, to make it spectacular, he would have had to train 50 rounds a day or something like that. Obviously he had breaks, but he would have had to train properly hard for that. And by the looks of AJ, he didn't even feel like he was 100%. He was like 50%, and he still won. And why did he win? Why did he win? It's because he could preserve his energy. He was just stalking him, preserving his energy, while Jake Paul was just running around like a rabbit, wasting his energy. Not even able. His body wasn't even able to do that kind of thing because he tired himself out. He didn't do any training in any way. Like I said, he would have had to do like 100 burpees or more periodically a day. To beat this guy. To mimic intense situations. And I mean, he lasted 6 rounds. He didn't even do anyone a favor, like delusional people like myself a favor, by even lasting 8 rounds. He I mean, I really thought that he would train for this. He would be young, hungry, for somebody who's been knocked out the last fight, and seems to be over the hill, but he was the guy he was fighting, like I said, wasn't even 100% and still won because he just knew how to conserve his energy and time it and time his opportunity. For Jake Paul to win, he would have had to. It's a fine running round. If you can attack as well, come in, attack, and then move out, and then run around. Come in, attack, move it, and run around. But like I said, you'd have had to do intense training for that to begin with, which you've done nothing. So you did nobody. So it seems like he's done nobody a favor, because at least if you're going to, obviously, be in a fight like that, a very publicized fight like that, train for it properly. Train for it properly. Don't. It's like he had a Burger King before the fight. I mean, he, the training method he's doing. I mean, he can, like I said, he can be a boxer. He can, but the training method he's doing is all wrong. He needs to jog for long hours. He needs to do burpees. A lot of burpees. That's good enough, honestly. He needs to be doing like 50 rounds sparring, or okay, I don't know for his weight class. Maybe he could do, let's say 20 or 25, but to for a spectacular event like that, not say, oh, I've done. I really believed he did his training. I really did believe he did his research. That's why I put money on him. Unfortunately, I lost. But I really thought he did that. But by the looks of it, he didn't. He didn't train properly for that fight at all. He didn't train properly for that fight, and obviously he got stopped. He was stopped on the 6th round. Couldn't even last the 8th round. Just lost at least the 8th round, man. What the freaking. You admire his confidence and so on, but that's confidence for what? I mean, Do train if you, before you become confident like that. Make sure you train properly, and I don't think his the people around him who train him, frankly, are proper trainers. I don't. I really don't think. You know. I think one of them I know. I've seen one of them. I don't. I don't. I recognize him. I think as, but I don't think he's got a good record at all in boxing. I mean, I've been taken. I mean, at least. I mean, the thing is, at least Jake Paul did fight someone eventually that was, a real boxer. You know, and he went out there, but he did it. The thing is, before you do that, train for it. Don't just go out there. Know that you've only like you do like that you're just being in the gym and lifting weights. I mean, it's more than that. Where's your stamina? Where's your, if you're gonna run around for that much in a fight, at least do burpees or something like that. A lot of burpees to imitate the conditions you're gonna be in. He probably did do burpees in the training, but probably did like 20 or something like that. I don't know. But you need to really do a lot of those. I'm sure he did sprinting. He must have done sprinting, right? Jogging, I don't know. I mean, how far does he jog? I mean, 5 miles? More, you need to jog 10 miles. I mean, for his weight class, I don't know. 8 miles would be enough. I don't know. But, you know, it's the way it is. I mean, like I said, if he wants to be a world champion, you know, people have got to see snippets of his. If he's got to be showing snippets of his training next time he fights. I'm not gonna ever bet on him again because this is like the last of the last. I've so far I think this is the fourth time I bet on him. You know, and I've lost all four of them. I've lost all four of them. This is the fourth time. I can't do. I won't be able to do it again. Um, he needs to show snippets of what he's doing training so people can understand. Okay, he's really training. He's really doing the road work. He's doing this. He's doing that. I don't. Just showing punching the pads is nothing. I mean, he just lacks stamina and conditioning. You know, if you're gonna if you're gonna fight the style that you do, like running around and then moving, then you got to do the training that mimics it. You know, do the road work, do the burpees, do the polymetric trainings. Do all that. And I don't know what kind of training he's doing. No, you know. I mean, obviously, delusional people like myself who put a bet on him. There's many more like myself, I'm sure, that's lost money on this guy. Yeah. Do us a favor and do your training. Show some of your training. You know, don't just go there and say, "I'm gonna win. I'm gonna cause the biggest upset and start screaming," because it makes people like myself believe that you've done the training, even though you probably haven't done. You're not certified like as what exercise you're doing. We don't know what you're doing. You know. Yes, you have good charisma. You have a good personality. I think you have an interesting personality, obviously. But and I do think you're a fighter. I think you are a capable fighter. But to say that you're a boxer right now, well, you did. You were a boxer because you went to fight a real boxer, and you lost, but do the proper training for it, Jake Paul. Because at the end of the day, delusional people like me are going to start placing bets on you and lose, and it's okay with you because you got your big mansion and 100 cars to drive around. Why people like us, we need food, we need money just to buy a sandwich, you know? So, do your training, and of course I'm upset of the outcome. I really did think that Jake Paul was going to pull it off from how he was carrying himself, how he was marketing himself. I thought, oh yeah, he really seems confident. I'm sure he's done the training for this stuff. I'm sure he's analyzed AJ, and that he knows what to do, where to penetrate and everything like that. But no, I mean, like I said, AJ wasn't even 100%. He was like 50%, and he still won. And why? Because he conserved his energy throughout the whole fight and timed his attacks. He was just waiting for the opportunity. And once he saw that Jake Paul was tired, that's when he struck. So he didn't win. He didn't win on skill because Jake Paul was avoiding him. He just simply waited for Jake Paul to tire himself out because Jake Paul just did not do the sufficient training to win. So that's my take. And hopefully Jake Paul will improve. But that doesn't get my money back, does it? At the end of the day, it doesn't get my money back. So hopefully he will improve and do the proper training. But he needs to be humble and realize that he needs to do the training. He can't just go there because you could obviously see he wasn't trained properly at all. He didn't do the correct training as he should research. He can go on ChatGPT or something and what boxers do for training. Burpees, road work. Those two are good enough. And obviously sparring, but loads of sparring. I'm talking about at least do 20 rounds of sparring a day or something like that. Mimic what you're doing, for those 8 rounds, you should have run around the ring for 8 rounds at least to mimic that for 3 minutes and throw punches at the same time, if that was the style you were doing, then run around the ring for 3 minutes throwing punches, mimic it, don't just spar punch pads because you're not running around punching pads, are you? It's the wrong tactics. Anyway, hope my video was informative, and hope to see you soon. Bye.